Hey, what's up? Welcome. Feel free to introduce yourself. I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. Howdy. I'm the founder and executive director of the Tahoe Wolf Center. This evening I am out with our most dire wolf looking animal. This is Autoutac. And actually, for those of you that have been following that ridiculous publicity stunt, this particular animal here is actually a cousin of the animal actor that played Ghost in Game of Thrones. And she actually looks a lot more like a dire wolf than these weird Franken dogs that Colossal Bioscience has bred that have pretty significant visible physical deformities, including an overbite, which is not normal for wild canids. So this is one of our ambassador animals. She's Arctic, or like some people call these polar wolves, but technically it's Arctic. She's 14 years old, so kind of an old lady. And she is actually the dominant animal in our family group by virtue of being the oldest and the matriarch. And she keeps driving me back towards the habitat. I think there was a squabble earlier and she's worried about everybody getting along. I'm going to try to get her to go the other direction here. Hey, how's it going, Giddy? Hey, NY, welcome. A message held for review here. Call them inbred German Shepherds. Yeah, they really do look like German Shepherds more than they do look like wolves. Their conformation is very strange. It wouldn't surprise me if people didn't embark on them and they got some very weird results. The direwolf stuff should come back as unresolved, but everything else should mostly come back as resolved to something. I would love to see an actual embark, actually. That'd be super interesting. So for those of you who haven't turned into my channel before, I'm Oliver. Many people call me Oliver the Wolf Guy. I've spent the last 40 years of my life living and working with wolves and teaching people about the species, among other things. And this evening I'm out here with, you could see her posting a no trespassing sign here and throwing dirt all over the street. She's real popular at beach picnics. She's never done it, but I have had an animal throw dirt in someone's picnic. It was not very cool. Welcome, Redwood from Manchester. Thank you. Hi, Gottsheim. Welcome all. So I really hate walking down the road, but I really love letting my animals decide where they're going to go for the majority of our out-of-habitat enrichment. And she wants to go make a show. This is her nature. So one of the reasons that I say, talk about alpha wolves is because, so the whole thing about alpha wolves is actually wrong. There is no fighting to be the dominant animal. The alphas are the parents, the breeding pair, typically the founding pair of any wolf family, or the animals that ultimately inherit those positions. They don't fight to be that position. They mate to be that position. And so by virtue of being the senior most animal, Autoutac owns that position in our family group. And alphas are not these brutal, dictatorial kind of law enforcement officers in their family groups. They are altruistic leaders who understand that their success, the success of the pack, relies on all pack members thriving. And, for an animal that breeds, their ultimate success is defined in how far those genetics spread throughout a population. And so not letting other animals that are responsible for caring for the young and making sure everybody survives, thrive, would be a mistake. Unfortunately, our culture has misappropriated the concept for mostly for media personalities who think that being a toxic, aggressive, misogynistic, chauvinist male is the way to go. It's not. And part of what I want to do is just teach people about that. And so with Autoutac's help here, we're going to see what true alpha wolf does. Alpha just means the number one animal. The but it's not a position derived from aggression. It's wisdom and respect that creates true alphas. They're the ones that know what's going on and can lead the others so that everybody thrives. Lewis, hey, welcome. Welcome, you guys. Karen, nice to meet you all. So while I'm out here, I'm sorry, when I'm walking, it's a little hard for me to read. I usually have to pause. I'll say, goat molesting. Okay, we got people like that. We just do that. Bye. Thank you, Godsheim. Appreciate that. So I'm walking, and so there's no real opportunity for a steady cam here. I do the best I can. I'm sorry about that. But if you go on my channel, there's plenty of video that is not live streamed, where we do have higher fidelity camera captures, including some that come from security cameras. Those are more for my subscribers. We capture a lot of live action off cameras that are motion triggered in the habitats. And so if you want to see that kind of stuff, that's what I recommend. And you're welcome, Topher. Lewis needed to go. Hi, Sherry. Hey, Adam. Yes, this afternoon I am out here with Autoutac. She is my 14-year-old matriarch. She's our Arctic. I was explaining earlier that she's the cousin of the animal actor that played Ghost in Game of Thrones. And so she is far more direwolf looking than the inbred. Giddy on my channel here just suggested I call them inbred German Shepherds, and I think that's probably a good description. And I can't believe these guys are standing so firm on their "we brought a direwolf back." It's just the most ridiculous thing ever. They didn't. They can't. It ain't gonna happen. So one of the best ways to fight against the oppression of wolves is simply to be knowledgeable about them and their value in ecosystems, which is one of the reasons I do this. Really? So she's got to go check on the puppies, apparently. And the youngest puppies are a year old. But one of them stole the rack of pork ribs out of my wife's hand as she was trying to get them for everybody. And there's a lot of squabbling happening, so I think she's just worried. That's her job, is to worry. So I guess I'm walking back up the hill I just walked down so she can have a look. Yes, these are ambassador wolves here. Oh, she's not compliant. All of my animals are used to walking on a leash. She's pretty aloof to people, but she's also my spiciest animal by far. And she has not changed a bit. Their personalities are pretty intense. And right now, she's just made the decision she wants to go check on everybody else. And I'm the one that's being compliant. I don't really want to walk up the road right now. But I also believe that these animals have their own free will. And I'm letting her exercise hers right now, even though it's not where I want to go. So Topher, yeah, these are all ambassador wolves at our nonprofit. We're the Tahoe Wolf Center. We're a 501c3. The other ones are puppies. But of all the animals, this is the one that bites me the most. She's like a wife that gets annoyed when you're doing something and slaps your hand away. And she does that to me almost every day for something. Sometimes I tell my wife I can't sleep unless Katie's put her teeth on me. Her name is Autoutac, which means ice cream in Yupik, which is one of the more ancient indigenous languages from the Nunavut region. Well, somebody's jealous of the one who stole the baby back ribs for sure. I think they're probably gone by now. Come on, Carrie, let's get out the road. Just mystifies me that people don't slow down on this little residential road. It's one of my big pet peeves, honestly. It's like when I see somebody walking a dog, I slow down. I'm just nice, I guess. I even have a sign on my property. The people are just self-centered sometimes, I guess. All right, you can check now, see? Everyone's fine. See, here's everyone. All right, Kiwi. Where's Noonie? Noonie still got his pork ribs. That's why he's not coming. Hi, Icknick. Hi, Mooney. Hi, Sonny. Sonny's a little spicy with Kiwi right now. Okay, are you happy now? You made me walk up the hill twice already. Doing laps up the hill. I'm wearing a 35-pound pack. So this 12% hill definitely, when I'm not warmed up, is like, okay, let's drag our butts back up the hill again. Are you happy now? Everyone's fine. So now she's like, okay, I saw what I needed to. Everyone's fine. Where's Noonie? Oh, there's Noonie, still chewing on his bones. So you'll notice the refrigerator sitting there. I have a crazy DIY project in mind here. Stay tuned over the next few days because you'll find out what it is and see what happens when I test it. And this will either be hilarious or hilariously terrible. Oh, see, now they're squabbling again. All right, you're okay now? You're not worried anymore? You dragged me all the way up the hill for no good reason? Hey, Ratty. Okay, so they're not dire wolves. So we are not open to the public. We do, very occasionally, we'll do an on-site visit for somebody if they're willing to sign a waiver. Mostly we reserve that for like filmmakers who are doing nature films and need like B-roll. Like I'm working with some people doing some wolf films right now, or artists that want to get some reference imagery or photos. If it's commercial, typically then it's a fee-based arrangement. And to answer your question, how did I get into working with wolves? I fell in love with wolves when I was 4. I come from a ranching family, so that wasn't super popular thing to like. I'm 57 now, so it's been a long road. I studied carnivore biology in college. Decided working for a government agency wasn't going to be a good path for me. But I had, one of my professors actually had the state of Colorado had a wolf that they needed somebody to take. And my professor knew I already had some wolf dogs, and that was my first wolf, a guy named Jake, in 1988. I founded my own nonprofit about 10 years ago, and we have been doing educational seminars. It's been more than 10 years now, wow. National park campfire visits with wolves. Yeah, the others are singing. Yes, they are. Although right now, Yami, they're Noonie. My wife was trying to bribe the Malamute with some pork bones because it was her turn to go today with Cooey here, and she didn't want her to go. So she felt guilty and had to bribe her. And she was overconfident in her ability to get a rack of pork ribs out of the freezer into the front door with 4 wolves all standing around. She did not win. Noonie won. And so yeah, there's some squabbling happening over Noonie's baby back ribs right now. They're more concerned about that than the dad left them alone song. All right, let's see here. Hey, Lee. So if you're really committed to working with wolves, Ratty, my advice is find a wolf or a wolf dog sanctuary near you. I'm sure there's probably one. They're all over the country. And offer to volunteer. They are always looking for reliable, honest, hardworking volunteers. You know, you're not going to be taking wolves for walks, but you'll really learn a lot. And you'll also learn, you know, not just about the animals, but about all the challenges people have with these animals. And if that's really your career choice, then you'll be way ahead of most people. I recommend it. See, squabbling. Now she's looking back because she hears squabbling. You want to go this way? So a lot, like you see me walking on some private property here, but this is a neighbor friend of mine. Oh, the snow is getting sad. There's just tiny little patches here and there. Oh, that's what she's after. Kiwi, if you're gonna eat the snow, can we clean it up at least? There you go. Okay, eat the front side. It's so interesting to me. Arctic wolves absolutely prefer eating snow to drinking water. I wish I had an ability to make snow for her year round. She'll literally go out of her way just to have a snow cone. And she must have smelled this melting snow here because there's not much left at this elevation. This is all because it slid off her roof. And you can, here, let me bring the camera around here. You can see her getting the snow cone. I'm gonna come the other side for y'all here. You switching sides on me? Yeah, she's done. And yeah, she was just after a snow cone. Now that she ate a snow cone, I'm thinking that a blue raspberry snow cone sounds kind of good. There's not many of those up here at this time of year. So I don't suppose I'll be getting myself a blue raspberry snow cone. It's funny how sometimes something will put you in the mood for something funny. Let's see. So, I guess you're asking about how to teach, preach the gospel of wolves. I mean, I use this platform, social media. I write on Medium, on Substack. I'm on every social media platform producing. Really? Gosh, she really is funny today. She's just doing laps to check on everybody. I share beautiful pictures. I talk to schools. My biggest plan is I'm hoping to leverage all of this to, she ate too much snow. Now she's gonna barf. Okay. So this is natural wolf behavior. Oh, you ate too much ice and made yourself sick, didn't you? Are you better now? You okay? Oop, you froze your belly, didn't you? You ate so much ice in such a short period. Okay, we're all right now? All right. After 40 years, you know what you're looking at when you see certain behaviors. That's why I sound so calm. I've seen her do this many times. So, right, I do need a snow cone machine. I'll put it in my Amazon wish list, and then I can have them too. Actually, it's a really good idea. You know what? I may just do a little fundraiser to get a snow cone machine for the wolves. They would love that so much. I could give them like liver flavored snow cones. That would be hilarious. So I love the good ideas my community has. I'm totally going to do that. I'm going to figure out how much they cost and do a little fundraiser. That'd be super fun. So great observation. So Autoutac has a little arthritis. She's 14. She tore an ACL. We repaired it. And unfortunately, it's super common that when an animal tears an ACL, it's really a cruciate ligament, not an ACL technically, but when they tear it, then the other one gets torn within a year. And sure enough, she blew the other one. just because of her age, we decided not to subject her to the surgery. So we did, and just so you know, here, I'll turn the camera on myself for a sec. I have blown my left ACL, MCL, PCL, torn my meniscus, completely destroyed my knee, not once, but twice, and never done a surgery, just done stem cells and a bunch of intense nutrition. And it ain't perfect, but the knee is arthritic for sure. It hurts all the time, but it's stable. Like I can ski on it, I can hike on it. It's not going out or slipping or any of those things that a unstable knee does. I've done MRIs and everything magically healed. It just hurts. So now she wants to walk by our friend's house who have Rottweilers, but we're gonna be chill so they don't go blowing out the door at me. Can we go this way? I don't know what you're doing today. She's so funny. So anyway, we have done stem cells and a bunch of other things, and the knee is stable, but she's like me. She's got a little arthritis. Some days she feels better than other days, but she's strong as hell. So, you know, she's 98 years old in dog years. So, Giddy, those are super interesting philosophical questions. And to be honest, I ponder this stuff a lot. I believe that nature is sort of like a giant computer that outputs every possible combination of molecules, like a giant printer that's just randomly spewing out stuff. And that some of the things that get spewed out, you know, there's a logic, there's an order to it created by the physics of this universe. And that intelligence is just an output of complex organic chemistry. And I think we're going to find that there's countless other forms of intelligence that are vastly superior to us and so different that we wouldn't even necessarily recognize them as intelligence. And I mean, at a certain point, if something is so intelligent that it can control stars or galaxies or even universes, then I mean, that's godlike as far as we're concerned. And part of me thinks that actually this is all just a gigantic simulation run by uber powerful, infinitely more intelligent aliens of some kind, and we're literally just in a computer system running a giant simulation. And when people say, well, how do you explain the expansion of the universe and dark matter, my sort of flippant but also questioning response to that is they're adding capacity to the system. They're adding memory, they're adding computational capabilities, and we're just a giant curious experiment. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I know that we have certain models of the universe that can be tested. I know that we have certain models of evolution that can be tested. And so I guess I'll leave that philosophical discussion there. Hey, Corbin, what's going on, buddy? Hey, did you get your gift yet? You are exactly right. I love you, Yami. You're just so amazingly knowledgeable. You always have a good idea or an interesting thought, and you're absolutely right. Traditional Autoutac is made using like whale fat and organs. And I don't know if I'm not a big fan of, what's that guy's name? The bald food guy. But he went to Alaska, actually, and he tried authentic Autoutac made by like a trail guide. And it's one of the few foods he just couldn't do. He couldn't eat it. And then he went to some grandma's house, because I guess there's two forms, right? There's like where are you taking me today? This is the worst hike ever. She's just like walking in circles right by my property. I don't know what she's up to. All the bears are up. She's probably just checking out where the bears have been. Come on, let's not go under the house. If she wants to go into the house, it tells me almost for sure it's where the bears have been. Cooey, let's do something different. And let me also, while she's trying to pull me into the house, let me get my headlamp going here. So it's a her. She'll step over it if it's bugging her. I get this comment a lot. It's impossible to keep this thing out from between her legs. We've been walking like this for. Don't do it. Don't roll in something stinky. Okay, it's bear for sure. She likes to mark on the bear feces, but she knows what's going on with this rope. Like you'll see. Sorry, I gotta put on a headlamp, so bear with us for a second here. All right, so she can wind her way through a thicket and follow the rope on the way out. So at this point, after thousands of miles of hiking, I don't fight it. Really, you're gonna go back to the snow that made you barf, okay? This is what she wants. Hey, Dallas, what's up? Yeah, she's looking for stuff. She's looking back, and you can see. So these are her little bite marks here on the clean face of the snow. See, she's going for the clean stuff. Yeah, Yami's right. I should get a snow cone maker. That'd be really cool. I think we'll see about that. Never even looked into it. Never even thought about looking into that before. What? Now we're heading back? I don't know. She's funny today. She's making me do the return lap. I don't know. Everybody else is staring me down from the corner. Hey, Bird, thank you so much. Stubborn or hard-headed, every single one. But I mean, that's a human anthropomorphism. They're just their own individuals, right? They don't believe, and in the wild, they don't accept being commanded by anybody else. They work together because they choose to, because it's in their interest. These are my teammates. They're not my inmates. My guidance is extremely light-handed. My job is to keep them out of trouble, to keep them safe, and to keep them healthy and happy. And if they want to do something that I want them to do, then that's awesome. It's because they want to. And if they don't want to do something, then I don't really make them unless it's life or death. I mean, I don't let them consume things I know are toxic. I make them go to the vet every once in a while, although they're generally pretty willing to go to the vet. But, they are these, a friend of mine I was just talking to who actually runs wolf sanctuary in Colorado. Amazing. And in fact, for you guys, in one of the next couple of Sundays, I'm going to do a webinar with them. I'll announce it, but if you're into that kind of stuff, I'll be announcing it. But anyway, she described wolves as a cat consciousness in a dog body. And I would say an uber intelligent cat consciousness, but most certainly, all right, I guess we're home. Are we home, Cooey? Or are we just walking around? Are we gonna walk around this even though I don't have a leash for you? See, Mom really blew it so Nepenthe here wanted to go with me. Mom bribed her with pork ribs to keep her home, and now she's right here sticking her head through the fence. Nepenthe. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Let's see. I would describe, yes, Giddy. I think that is a very younger siblings, or probably more like my kids, since I bottle raised all of them, hand raised them. So I would say they see me as a parental figure. and they're still not getting along down there. They're not going to hurt each other. They're just squabbling over the bones. Like everybody wants Nooney's bones. And Nooney doesn't want to let those bones go, because why would he? He got them fair and square from Mom. I would say, Giddy, that this animal here kind of considers me like her co-equal in running the family group, and that my wife is like her sister. It's very interesting, certain dynamics. For example, there are things like if she's ripping stuff up in the house and we want her to go out, I can't do it. She will not let me do it. I cannot put her out. Like, she gets very upset. She takes it personally. It's a super intense reaction from her. But if my wife tries to put her out, she's kind of like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going out. It's not personal. With me, it's personal. It's so interesting. But there's many things my wife can't do with them at all. She just doesn't have the same. I spend so much time with them. You know, she is busy running our restaurants and shopping for our restaurants, so I'm home a lot. Yes, I mean, their grace and their independence to us is cat-like, but it's really dog-like. It's just that we have a very distorted version of dog from what we made from this. You know, I like to call wolves original or raw dogs. They're just the dog nature made. And I guess, you know, I like to consider myself as like the deepest lover of dogs there is. And it's just that I love the purest possible. What? Hold on a second. Kiwi, hold on a second. That's nice. Somebody dumped a bunch of fence post mix over here. That's weird. Right on the edge of my property. That stake is my property line. I kind of know who did it because I see more of it. I have one neighbor I don't like so much because they're kind of not a good neighbor. And then I have one neighbor who shares my fence line who I absolutely adore. He's just the coolest dude ever. But that's how it is. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Hey, Topher. So I knew somebody was going to ask me about skunk. So no, it does not remove skunk. But there is a combo I've come up with that uses a couple of different ingredients. That's one of them. Because skunk has an oil in it that's very difficult to break down. And we'll see. If this one kicks ass, then maybe I'll also introduce a skunk wash. But it's just different. Skunks are just terrible when you get skunked. They just, that is a true chemical warfare on you. All right, Kiwi, don't pull me off this stuff. Here. Oh. Let me pause here and read some comments, folks. And by the way, now I have a headlamp on now, so I don't turn the camera around much, just because all you get is this, right? Which is mostly just my face in shadow and a terribly bright headlamp. We use for those that are curious, I use the Black Diamond Icon lamp system, which has remote-mounted batteries. The batteries sit in the back of my head. I do not like the lamps that have integrated rechargeable batteries because I go through the batteries, and then if they're integrated, you can't swap them out. But like this lamp here has 4 AAs, and I use really high-end rechargeable, and then I carry extras in a little pouch right here. I carry 2 lamps, the same kind of lamps, with me whenever I'm out. I believe in redundancy for mission critical equipment. And so if something breaks or gets lost or batteries or whatever, I always have 2. Same thing for survival knives, all that stuff. Let's pause here. An enigmatic encounter. I'm going to check that out. Let's see here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So for those of you who have never seen my channel, let me try this here. It's really dark. I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. I am the founder and executive director of the Tahoe Wolf Center. We are a 501c3. We teach people about wolves. And this evening, I'm doing an habitat enrichment exercise with my old lady. Kiwi, you want to step over that so you're not walking funny? There we go. This is a Autoutac. Her name means ice cream in Yupik. See, when it's bugging her, she steps right over it. But it's really hard to keep it. The reason is that there's a very heavy swivel, so they don't break it, and the rope is very heavy. So it's a little tricky to keep it over her, on top of her shoulders. And I don't use harnesses because wolves can back out of a harness, and I get pulled around enough that if I give them the additional leverage, it just ruins me. So they use 2 collars. Okay, so now she's decided she's probably going to go walk by this other house that has a dog she likes to aggress against. Not my fave. Hold on a second here. The bird is the word. Hey, let me just check this out here for a sec. All right. And you can see, even though she's 98 in dog year, or in human year, she's in dog year, she's 14. She just turned 14 a couple days ago, and she's still dragging me down the road. And I guarantee she could out hike me as long as it's not hot. Like, she could just demolish me over the course of 12 hours of hiking. And I am pretty good at endurance. I was a professional bike racer. Let's see, can I rotate that? You'll see it just doesn't want to stay there. It wants to hang down. And so the only way it doesn't end up down by her legs is if I keep tension on it. Yeah, all of our animals are super fit. We use the thigh trackers on their collars. See, here we go. This is what she wanted. Now watch. This is, you want to see when sort of alpha when it comes to out of habitat, not family. You can already see her fur on her spine is about to start standing up. Her tail is about to go very stiff and flagged out behind her instead of relaxed, and she's going to walk all stiff. Here it comes. We're going to go on this side so that it's less. Let's see how her fur is standing up on her back now. Like, this is all she wanted, was just to walk by with stiff legs. She won't bark. She's just going to stiff leg right by. So here we go. Aren't you a good girl? Let's not start a fight. But she just likes to sort of walk by. We got a new barking dog here. All right, we don't care. Come on, we don't care. She's staring at the fence. And now see how her tail is relaxed again. It's drooping down, just sort of that's called neutral carry, where it's just relaxed. She doesn't care. All right, come on. You're gonna make me walk up the same hill 3 times today. I don't mind walking up hills, but I hate walking up the road. All right, are we happy? Did you do your little thing? That's a small dog. I love the confidence of small dogs. It's so funny to me. So for those of you who have never tuned into the channel, I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. 40 years living and working with wolves. I'm the founder and executive director of the Tahoe Wolf Center. And we are a 501c3, teaches people about wolves. If you want to support our work, it's TahoeWolfCenter.org. The merch on this channel also supports, as do channel memberships. And finally, I'm the author of the Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs. which synthesizes my 40 years of working with wolves, and more than that, of working with a whole variety of breeds of dog. All of that synthesized into 262 pages and 95 color photos in the color versions of how to make your dog love you more. The book is not a dog training book. It's principally a book about understanding the root of the behaviors and doing better by understanding them. And that means habitat design, diet, enrichment, reactivity, and understanding where it comes from and what we do with our animals, even taking them on better walks. So that can be found on Amazon. Also, there's a link in the bio for it. That's interesting. Just catching up on the comments here, folks. I mean, there's my favorite book about this is called The Invaders by Dr. Pat Shipman. When we're talking about the process by which we got dogs, and it appears that this was mutualism, and I really agree with this particular sort of sentiment. So crazy that people just are like, okay, I had enough of those skis. Season's over. Waste bin. Shovel. Season's over. Waste bin. That's so crazy. That's what that is people just throwing away skis. That's our society. I don't get it. Like, they should just at least go to Goodwill and let somebody else have a shot at them. They don't even look bad. My wife gets mad when I pick up stuff around the neighborhood and try to repurpose it. So I'm not going to do it, but because I don't want to get the riot act. But anyway, the Invaders talks about sort of how dogs and humans found mutual benefit in a close association, and that benefit was so significant for Homo sapiens as opposed to Neanderthals, where there is no evidence of any direct interaction with dog so far. Like, maybe we're wrong. I mean, the minute we find a Neanderthal burial with dogs and grave goods, then that's a whole different conversation. But that would be anomalous, whereas we have lots and lots of evidence of dog, human. Nope. Come on, we don't trespass. Thank you. We have a lot of evidence of 30, 40,000 year ago Homo sapien dog collaboration for hunting and other things. And it's unclear how that happened. Thank you, Noe. Yeah, that's the problem with where I live, isn't it? It's the U.S. right now. And I'd historically been very proud of this country. And now, if I wasn't so deeply entrenched here, I would really consider relocating. I think our human rights and other policies have just vanished. And I honestly, I think that there's a whole new culture of fear here. I've never been afraid to voice my particular thoughts on various topics, but now I actually find myself thinking twice about things, just because, apparently our administration thinks nothing of renditioning Americans to El Salvador, and even in defiance of the courts. So I'm not going to say anything else about it. In any case, my focus is wolves. And I'm fighting that particular problem with our administration, is their desire to wipe out endangered species. Yes, exactly. They worked with humans for food. Yeah, I don't blame you, Ami. If I could, I mean, I'm 57. I've got all these animals, hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in our habitats, a couple $1 million of very hard-earned wealth in property for businesses that we own and operate. So for me, finding a way to be an expat is really tough. It's really tough when you get older, and it's especially tough when you've got, there's not a lot of countries that are going to admit me with my whole nonprofit situation here. It depends. Giddy, I mean, it depends where you earn your money, right? I mean, if you earn your money out of the country, and if you're, especially if you want to resign your citizenship, I don't think that they could tax you anymore. That seems pretty crazy. But for sure, if you're being paid like by a U.S. company, but you're remote somewhere else, for sure, they're going to take at least the federal taxes. But state, you're not a resident of a state. Weird conversation. Yes, gosh, I know, Corbin. I mean, and those are all the dog breeds that I really find the most appealing, are the wolfiest breeds for sure. Like, Malamutes are my heart breed by far. They're just my dog. I like to call them skunk wolves, and they are the wolfiest for a bunch of reasons. But certainly Akitas, Huskies are certainly more of the primitive dogs. I like also Anatolians, I think, are really interesting. On the very small end of the spectrum, Pomeranians, but not the toy Pomeranians. We've messed up so badly. But Euro Pomeranians that are actually chicken guarding dogs are super interesting. Americans always take things too far, right? I know, how do we end up with chihuahuas? Well, it's because we just take some weird characteristic that had rat terriers and things, they all had jobs. Like, those breeds were evolved to do particular work. And then they became items that the traits themselves became before it was the capabilities that were the thing that was bred for, right? Herding or, ratting or pointing, right? It was all these advantages. And then all of a sudden, we developed this Victorian concept of breed standards. And then it became a race to the bottom for looks, not for behaviors. And I mean, right now, it's unending, the number of Malinois and Huskies and Great Pyrenees that are unhomed by people that were like, oh, I like the look of that dog. Like, they know nothing about the breed. They have no clue what it's supposed to do or what the traits it's going to exhibit are for. And then they're in an apartment with a dog that's a giant breed herding dog, and the neighbors are hating it, and nobody gets along with it, and it ends up nowhere in the pound on the red list. Well, that's people, right? I mean, it's just like skis, right? We'll dispose of anything when it's inconvenient for us. Makes me really sad. Yes, you're right, Yami. I'm just sort of generalizing when I say Victorian, just sort of that era, right? Not necessarily England in particular, although there was certainly a big influence there. But I was just talking about the time frame when all that sort of started happening for business purposes and, fashion purposes, right? All at once. Whenever anything becomes a business, I mean, already already there's people trying to sell dire wolf puppies. It's just like, okay. And, you know, there's gullible public that's going to pay in. I mean, you know, one of the hardest things about being a little tiny bit viral on social media are the incredible number of comments I get from people who, you know, had a wolf cub that was the best, most loyal dog ever. And, you know, the minute I see that comment, you know, I sort of have a healthy amount of skepticism, because in my 40 years, first of all, you know, unless you're from the UK where that's just a linguistic convention, wolves have pups, they're dogs, dogs have pups. But more than that is that I've never had one of these that would be described as loyal in the conventional sense. And so it makes me think, yeah, somebody thinks they have a wolf, but when I see it, it's not going to look like this or these. All right, kid, this is the last time up the hill today. We're done with this for the day. Let's see. Yeah, poodles, the fault of the French. Yes. Samoyed. Samoyeds are really great dogs. Yeah, I love them. They're super interesting. It's all those sort of primitive, you know, the Greenland Eskimo dog, right? The Native American Indian dog. You know, there's some really cool throwback breeds that are all very wolf-like. All right, Q, you ready? What's up with that, huh? All right. Well, I have to go in the back part of our habitat right now. I know, come on. She and one of her younger females got into a little oh. All right, let's not do that. It increases we're still at the tail end of breeding season, and we've got some pretty intense behaviors I'm trying to avoid through keeping various animals separated for the time being. Come on, Kiwi. Let's go this way. We're just wrapping up here. Thank you, Topher. Appreciate it. I will, I shall. Come on, let's go. So as I get ready to wrap it up here, folks, if you want to support me in my work, we're the Tahoe Wolf Center at tahowolfcenter.org. The merch on my YouTube and TikTok shop all supports our efforts to continue to care for these animals and educate the public about them. My book, The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs, on Amazon. And last but not least, if you join the channel at any membership level, please also follow me on TikTok and send me a private message with your name and your mailing address so I can send you a welcome gift. And these are a wolfy gift you cannot find anywhere else. And I'm just trying to open our, there we go. This lock is tired. So we ordinarily don't come in this way unless it's just me and Kiwi. I have to All right, Kiwi, come. Okay. So for those of you that hung out with me for all this time, not only do I really appreciate it and enjoy sharing the time and also some of the fascinating things people bring up in these conversations. Hi, there's my skunk wolf. There's Nepente, my skunk wolf. So let me, I'm going to put you guys on my little chest rig for once. The whole time I've been talking to you, I've been carrying the phone here, but I got to do this to use two hands now. I'm going to put you here in the chest rig for 1 second. Kiwi, come here. Kiwi, come here. Let me loose you up. Come on, come here. Come here. Let me loose you up. See, doesn't want to. She'll stand there. She's really the princess. Like, she knows exactly that I need to take her off her leash here. But she doesn't want to come. She'll just stand there and make me come to her. That's why we call her Princess Bitchy Pants, is because she knows I work for her. I like to say that dogs have owners, wolves have staff. Huh, Kiwi? All right. So, let me reward you guys with a little glimpse of the other animals here in our project. We're gonna go see Sunny and Mooney and Noonie and Knick-Knack. Oh, you're such a skunk wolf. I can't believe it. You got out after Mom wanted you to keep her company. You just weren't doing it, were you? All right. So we use an airlock system between our habitats to avoid negative interactions. Kiwi, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't pick fights with anybody. Okay. And here we go. Oh, hi, Noonie. I'm going to get a little mauled probably. All right, we're all coming. Nope, 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 nope. Nepente. Oh, dear. All right, I got to solve a problem now. Stop it. Nope. Everybody wants to go in the back here, but I didn't mean to let her in there. So now I got to... The problem is my pack is fat. Sunny, come back out. Come here. All right, everybody wants to get in a little fence fight over here at the moment. Noonie, you move. Sunny. All right, so I got to do some quick problem solving. Sunny, come on. Problem is I'm encumbered with my pack here. It's fat. And what I don't want is for... Are you going to come out of there, Sunny? She's going to get bored and come out here. All right, come on. Come on, Sunny, come out. Get your head out of there. Sorry, you guys are getting to see firsthand what the most challenging aspects of this animal husbandry are, is keeping animals where I want them. You gonna come out, Sunny? Come on. I know, sorry. Had to grab you. So that's one of those rare instances where I'll like be a little direct in my handling of an animal, but you saw she jumped up to kiss me because she wanted to understand what was going on there. But the issue is that one of my other animals wants to kill my Malamute, and so this one here, Mooney, you can see how her tail's all standing up like that. So she wants to kill my Malamute, and it creates some weird aggressions on the fence. Come on, Sunny. Come here. Come on. Come here. Love you. All right. Hi. Okay. All right. So yeah, she just wants to make sure everything's cool. She's like, why did Dad grab me and throw me out? That's why. All right, and we're going to move away from there, and hopefully that'll de-escalate that little situation. Come on, come here. Mooney, you're the one that's causing all the trouble. Hi, Noonie. Hi, Sunny. All right. A lot of it just centers around competition for me. All right, hi. Hi, Noonie. So for those of you that haven't been on our channel before, here, this is Icknick. Icknick is my proper gentleman. He's my mature male. He's 6, and he's extraordinary. He's actually going to be 6. But he's just the calmest. He's also very large. He's 150 pounds, which puts him in the 1% of all wolves on earth. He's a very big boy. But he's just a super sweet, super gentle, super chill animal. And then we've got Sonny Mooney. Come on. This is new Naryak. He's a puppy I rescued last year. He's about 130 pounds, and he just turned a year. This is Sicknick, or Son. And here's Mooney. Mooney's mostly concerned with killing the Malamute. Mooney, get off her. So... Noonie is the most ridiculous puppy. People are calling him Moon Moon. Me and the boys. Hi, Mooney. Mooney, why do you cause so much trouble? Mooney is, we call Mooney Badger the Angry Weasel of the ambassador animals, but she's also by far the most intense when it comes to certain behavior. Bye, Mooney. All right. Hey, Furrow, you're just catching me as I'm wrapping it up. So these are, the one I was walking earlier is Arctis. These are all Occidentalis. And they're riled up because of the way I came into the habitat here. Noonie. We're out of breeding season. Nobody is fertile right now, but he's just... She's going to put him in his place here in a second. Noonie. I'm going to relocate you in a minute here back with the others. Because you're just exacerbating the situation here. Boom. It's good that he likes her so much, because that's who he would be paired with if we ever did a reproductive activity. Since Icknick and Mooney are a couple. She seems to like him okay. Noonie. But that is not our plan. I am going to move Noonie back here. Noonie, come here. Mooney. It's just all about killing this Malamute. It's crazy how determined she is to... You go. Nobody else. All right, just make sure I got the right person in the right place. Hey, you're stirring up trouble. Okay, let Noonie come see you. That's what you want. I know. There you go. She wants to go see Noonie. All right. And that should resolve the things I'm not appreciating at the moment. So Cooey's up there. These guys are together. And I can conclude this activity. I'm going to close my little gate here. This kennel is for my protection. I'm the one that gets to go in the kennel here. All right, I'll turn that off. Have a seat here for a second. So this is me, in case you guys have been wondering who the guy talking for this hour was. How's it going? And take a look here. Hey, catch you later, Furrow. Thank you, Tom Ray. Yeah, very excited. These are all ambassador animals, Tom Ray. Right, it's 5:54 a.m. Oh my God. All right, folks. So you'll see I'm the one that's in the secure kennel now, so I can sit down and not lose my backpack or anything else. All right, folks. So anyway, I'm Oliver, the Wolf Guy, Executive Director of the Tahoe Wolf Center. We are a 501c3 that teaches people about wolves. We're just wrapping up our live stream for the evening. If you want to support our work, all the merch here on my TikTok store as well, same username, somewhat different content. Any channel memberships on either platform my book, The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs, and finally, TahoeWolfCenter.org. Any funds through any of those channels support our nonprofit. If you're interested in having me do educational seminar on Zoom for kids, classrooms, whatever, that's gratis. Do that. Just reach out to me. The easiest way to get to me is follow me on TikTok and send me a private message there with any message you want, and we can communicate. If you're interested in my Benevolent Alpha framework, which is leadership coaching, really specifically for like executives who are running high performance teams and want to take your organization to the next level, I have decades of business experience. I'm a successful entrepreneur, several exits across different industries, from restaurants to cannabis, to high tech to journalism. And I work with individual clients as well as organizations. Again, reach out to me on TikTok and we can get on a call if that's for you. So with that, thank you all very much for spending time with me and this evening at Autoutac and Nunaryak here. Nice beard. My wife would not agree with you there, Giddy. And today I'm looking particularly shaggy. But in any case, thank you all for tuning in here. We appreciate you, and we will catch you. Yeah, I'm old. That's why. That's why Canis Lucas. I like your username. It's because I'm old. I've been doing stuff for a long time. Yes, I do get a lot of extra nibbling on my face, probably because there's food in it. So for all of you there, thank you again so much for hanging out with me for the evening, and we will catch you on the next one. You should like and subscribe because we're about to do the funniest refrigerator hack for wolves you've ever seen. That's coming. So stay tuned. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Howls, everybody.